Yo, Counterattack podcast with myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. Quick, just want to say hello, everyone. How are you? We are on. I want to get to 7,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I really want to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know that there's stuff I have to do to get there, but I'm just hoping that you guys spread and share the content as much as possible. We've got some good interviews, some good players coming on this year. From now until the end of the year, in the final 2 months of the year, you're going to get a lot of good content. Some Nigerian players, we're going to get some Premier League players, we're going to get some championship players. So lock in. It's going to be a busy end to the year, man. But I just want to quickly just give a podcast, This week, we're going for 5 videos throughout the week. 5. On top of that, we're going live on TikTok. I keep saying it. I was doing my streams before on YouTube, but this week we're gonna lock in. I remember I did it last year where I went 30 days straight, and the engagement and everything went through the roof. So we're gonna do that again this year. We're going to do it, and for 5 days straight, I'm going to do a video every day, content every day. We're going to do live streaming. And if I don't, hold me accountable. But yeah, guys, make sure you follow on the Instagram and Twitter and all of that stuff. So, what is it I want to talk about today? Obviously, the weekend's games, I'm going to just fly through some things. I'm going to start with Arsenal. I am obviously an Arsenal supporter, but I'm a lover of football. But I'm seeing, obviously, Arsenal lost their first game, their first away game of 2024 yesterday. It's their first loss of the season, and it was against Bournemouth. And the main talking point, in fact, the biggest talking point, was the sending off. I personally feel like, you know what? When I've seen it a couple of times, my first initial thing was it's a sending off. But then there's other things that come into it, like the distance from the keeper and if there's any other covering players and everything. But I just know the way the referees are in today's game, they're going to give that as a red all day. And the moment Saliba fouled him, it gave him a decision to make. And I knew he was going to do it all day long. My biggest actual issue as an Arsenal fan was he should never have been put in that position anyway because of Trossard. But that's neither here nor there. I do feel like once the referee's given a yellow for the VAR to intervene at that point and then tell him to go to the TV, and then you're saying this is clear and obvious. Do you get what I'm saying? This is clear and obvious, and this should actually be a red card. I don't think it was clear and obvious. If the referee gives a red card straight away, I'll be like, do you know what? Fine. But he gave a yellow at first, and they've gone and made him change his mind in terms of go to the TV, and you know what that means. So that's what I wasn't happy with. I do feel like as well, there's inconsistencies. And I think because there's always inconsistencies with VAR and everything, I think people are always going to have an issue with it. I think with the inconsistencies with VAR and everything, and, when they're told to go to the TV and, look for, you're always going to have something to say. But my initial thing was that it was a red card. If the referee gives a yellow, which he did give a yellow, for them to say go to blah, 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 and, overturn that or look at it, it's just like, since when did we start doing that? And if I've got it wrong that, unless it's clear and obvious that there's been a mistake, if I've got it wrong, then fine, I'll hold up my hands. But I don't think it was a clear and obvious mistake. So once again, I do feel like initially it was a red card, but once the ref has given a yellow and they've told him to go to the to the VAR, whatever, to the TV, it's got to be clear and obvious for him to change his mind. And I don't feel like they had to intervene. But if I don't know something about the rules, then let me know and I'll happily change my mind. But today in Liverpool's match, there was obviously the moment where Tosin and Jota had a similar incident. I think the thing with that one though is that it's never going to be a red because there was a recovering player right there. There's a recovering player right there next to them, innit? So I always knew that one was going to be a yellow, but some might look at it and be like, it's the same, but inconsistencies, and it's all about, interpretations of things, man. But yeah, outside of that, Arsenal, it's very hard for Arsenal. It's very hard for any team in the Premier League to win a game or get a result when you're consistently going down to 10 men. When you look at the points that Arsenal have dropped this season, it's come against Brighton, Man City and Bournemouth. All the games where we've had 10 men. I think if you're going to complain about anything, we have to keep people on the pitch. Outside of that, the set piece that Bournemouth scored with the first one, great set piece. I just don't think there's a deep dive needed. I think we can talk about the sending off all day long. We can talk about, the starting lineups and whatever. But at the end of the day, Arsenal played the game they played because of the fact that they had 10 men. When there was 11 men, the game weren't really a great game, to be honest. But it was 0-0. That changed everything in terms of the trajectory of the game, in terms of us having to sit back, having no counter and everything. So, yeah, I'm not really happy with the loss, obviously, but equally, I'm not going to sit here. Arsenal lost their first game of the season. I really do believe some people think Arsenal are going to go unbeaten throughout the whole season. No, you're going to lose games. And if you lose in the manner we lost yesterday, where we're down to 10 men and whatnot, I can just put that down to it's a bad day at the office, we go again next time. But there's this thing where it's like, this player, he's the reason. Someone tweeted me and said the reason we lost was because Martinelli missed that chance. Martinelli should have scored that chance, 100%. But that's not the reason we lost. The game changed with the red card. And it's funny because Howard Webb was on Stick to Football, the show with Roy Keane, Ian Wright, Gary Neville, Wayne Rooney, Jamie Carragher, Jill Scott. Howard Webb was on there and he said referees, they try to make decisions that keep 11 men on the pitch. But then you see what happened, and then Howard Webb's sitting in the crowd on his phone. You don't know if they're talking to VAR and stuff like that, but they're going out their way to change. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. So Arsenal lost first defeat of the season. They go again. I think a big thing as well is the fact that no Saka, no Odegaard, and no Saliba for that game against Liverpool next week, which is going to be massive. So hopefully, as it stands, that's the case. But hopefully Odegaard and Saka can come back. Obviously Saliba is not going to be available for that game. And Liverpool are flying right now, man. They obviously beat Chelsea today. And, I felt like it was a good game. I did feel like it was a good game. I think Chelsea are going to be okay. When I look at the game against Liverpool and I look at how Chelsea played, I don't think there's things to worry about. I think there's things they need to neaten up a bit. Like defensively, they obviously need to fix up. I'm not having, a centre-back partnership of Colwill and Tosin like yesterday. Do you know what I mean? But obviously Fofana's going to come back. But just in terms of the defensive shape and structure, there's still things that they need to work on. But I think they're going to be okay. I think they have the players to make a difference. But I think Chelsea do this thing where it's almost like they're happy to just be on par with the team that they're playing against. So what I was getting from them when they were playing against Liverpool is that it's almost like they're happy to be like, we've earned the right to play. We can keep the ball for a bit. We can ping you back. But there's not that killer instinct to go and get the goal. Obviously, they want to get the goal. I'm not going to sit and say they don't want to get the goal. But that's how they play, as if there's no urgency to actually... It's all about, we can match you. But they don't have the killer instinct to get the goal. So, yeah, it was good. I do want to mention Curtis Jones, who got man of the match today. I was tweeting from early that he's a very, very good player. Like, if you go back and look at my Curtis Jones tweets, Curtis Jones is a player that he does the basics very well and he impacts games. And he won't impact games loudly all the time. Like today, it was a loud one because he scored. Do you know what I mean? But he's always involved. Do you get what I'm saying? He does the ugly side of things if you want him to. And he also does some neat things. And I think he's one of those steady players that can give you a 7 or 8 in terms of ability and what they're offering, and they're just always gonna be involved in the game. Do you get what I'm saying? And he doesn't shy away. He doesn't hide. Yeah, he's a really, really good player, man. And it's funny because I was going back and forth with someone online today that said he's below average, and then he goes and scores. So there you go. But Curtis Jones had a good game. I felt like Lavia, really, really good game until he came off. Proper midfielder. Lavia and Curtis Jones were the players that stood out for me yesterday from each team. Yeah, Lavia, once he gets his game time back up, man, he's gonna be a real good player for them. But it's all about availability at the end of the day. And if you're not available, you know, it's the same issue I had with Tomiyasu. As much as I love Tomiyasu, he's never available for Arsenal. So yeah. But yeah, it was a good game, man. Liverpool are just cracking along, going along with it, man. And you know, it's someone in commentary said it's the same team, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think sometimes new managers come in and they might inherit a good team, but with that good team, they want to just change everything. This has got to be my way and whatever. He knows he's inherited a good team, and he's basically just using that team and then going to build on it. So well done to Arne Slot for not thinking he's going to come in and just change and upheave everything. No, what you had was working. Now you can just tweak a few things, but work with what you got as opposed to just changing everything. So you know, Liverpool are gonna be there or thereabouts. You know, I'm seeing it now. But yeah, was that it? Manchester United, Brentford. What was the final score of that one? 2-1, innit? Yeah, 2-1. But I felt like Brentford, Man United against Brentford. Brentford didn't really cause an issue once Man United, especially once Man United got their second goal. I don't think Man United were great. I do once again want to big up Johnny Evans because he's proven to be their better defender right now. Garnacho had a good game. Garnacho had one of those games where sometimes you get these games where everything just goes for you. You're just totally on throughout the whole game. And that was him. He was just on. So fair play to him. Man City. Oh my gosh, how can I forget about Man City? So my thing, yeah, obviously Man City got the late goal against Wolves. And I knew it was coming. And they cannot keep doing that. But anyway, John Stones got the goal. My thing with the whole offside thing is that when the ball was initially played, he's in an offside position. And when the header goes, he's in an offside position. They say he's not interfering with play, but he's had to push him away, get set. But by the time he's pushed him away and done this to look at where the ball is going, like it's like a split second. Do you get what I'm saying? So his whole having to be set or whatever was interfered with by that player. So even if he can see the ball, there's still a player there who he's also got to be aware of. Bear in mind, this is all happening. So, bearing in mind, this is all happening in the space of a second or two. So if there's a player that you've just pushed away, and as you push him, a header's going to come in, he has to be interfering with play. Now, it was given as offside. The linesman flagged it, which I didn't know till after the fact. The linesman flagged it as offside. The goal was given or whatever, but you've been asked to go to the VAR screen. Chris Kavanagh gave the goal. You were asked to go to the screen, and normally that's like, okay, we feel like there's something here, and you know that needs to be looked at. But you go and give the decision anyway, and I don't know how you can look at those replays, and I'm not talking about the steal where he's not in the way. He's had to push him off first. If that's not interfering with play, when a split second to a second later you're having to deal with a header, if that's not interfering with play, I don't know what it is. What is? So, but Bernardo Silva, well done, got the timing done perfectly, and I do believe that would be it for me. I'm doing another video tomorrow about Pogba, because Pogba's ban has been decreased, but no one's talking about it. No one's talking about Pogba's ban. And I know he's done a couple interviews and everything, but people still look at him like he's cheated, but then just got a lesser ban. But if you actually look at what actually gets said, it was a supplement that he didn't know had whatever, and it's not performance enhancing. But we're going to talk about why he was actually given a 4-year ban. We're going to do that tomorrow. As well, good to have the Nigeria players back from Libya. Libya tried a thing with the Nigerian players. It wasn't going to work. It didn't work. They thought they could do all of that and then play a game and then win. No, none of that's going to happen. So big up, you know, Nigeria and the Nigerian captain Will for Trustekong for standing their ground. But yeah, that's it from me. Tomorrow we got another video. Hold me to it. Hold me to it. And I'm doing a giveaway, a couple football shirts, and I'm setting up a website. Send your mailing list. I'm doing a live show that's going to be the biggest live show, football live show that we've seen. I'm doing that. So a lot of things in the woodwork, man. But yeah, guys, I'm out.